Hi, this is Mike Cicchini with Geek.com. We're here at San Diego Comic-Con with Robert Venditti. Robert is the writer of Green Lantern and Hawkman for DC Comics. How you doing, Rob?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
You have been writing Green Lantern for 6 years now.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most impressive runs by a writer on Green Lantern in the modern age. Like, people don't usually stick around for that long.
Yeah, Jeff Johns did a really good long run before me as well, but you're right, it is, I think, becoming less common for a writer or an artist to stay on a book for an extended period of time, whereas, back in the 80s and 90s, that was much more common. So I feel super fortunate to be able to do it. I did 85 issues over that time frame. Feel super fortunate to be on a character like that long, to be able to hopefully put my own stamp on things and do something that was a little bit different than everybody else. And I feel like it's a good time to go and to work on some other stuff,
Green Lantern has always been the kind of the spine of the DC, like the cosmic DC universe. You have this whole wealth of concepts to work with. Does that make it easier or harder when you're trying to plan, 12 issues or 24 issues in advance?
For me, that's actually a lot of what the appeal was for me to come on Green Lantern. There's so many books that DC publishes and so many that are based on Earth. Here was an opportunity to do a character that's based out in space, and you have this whole tapestry and this, especially with Rebirth, it's sort of the mission statement of embracing a lot of the legacy and a lot of the history of these characters and these concepts. Now you're out in space and there's just so much out there you can do. And one of the things that I wanted to do was not really build a lot of new mythology for the character, because Jeff Johns' run, which is going to go down one of the greatest runs in Green Lantern history, was very much a mythology building run, and he introduced a lot of different cores and things like that. What I wanted to do is take the Green Lantern concept and blend it in with the wider cosmic DC universe in ways that we hadn't really seen before. So I had the Green Lantern Corps go up against General Zod, which is traditionally a Superman villain, or I had them interact with Brainiac and the whole Corps gets trapped inside Brainiac's bottle and they got to get out. And I brought in characters like Space Cabbie or Rip Hunter or things like that, like things that you don't normally associate with Green Lantern. But when you do it, like, why has Space Cabbie never been shown as an informant for the Green Lantern? That makes total sense. He's a cabbie. Everybody talks in the back seat, forgets about the cab driver listening, and then he knows what's going on, and he tells Guy Gardner, So just try to bring in those concepts and weave them together and really embrace that wider cosmic tapestry.
You went from having all this cosmic mythology to play with to dealing with the character who has possibly the most complicated backstory in all of DC Comics, with Hawkman. Can you tell everybody why they shouldn't be intimidated by Hawkman anymore?
Yeah, actually, that's a great question. I can do that. One thing that I do well is I'm a good puzzle piece person. You can dump a mix of things on a desk, and I'll be able to figure out a way to make them all fit together, make a story, make sense of them. Well, Hawkman's like the ultimate puzzle, right? So I started researching the character, and within the first hour of me just doing very cursory research online, I came up with my idea of how I was going to, unify all of it. And the more I read, the more sense it made to me. He's been reincarnated across time and space, and in many ways, he's sort of the living historical document of the DC universe. It's part Indiana Jones. He's an archaeologist who's exploring. It's part National Treasure because he's following this trail of clues throughout time. We've got things that we're going to do with those mythologies that we're going to show you in a different way, how there were secrets buried within things this entire time you've been reading Hawkman you never knew about, and you're going to discover those secrets as Carter Hall discovers them himself. Or if you're a new reader who doesn't know a single thing about Hawkman, you can pick this up and you can get high adventure in the style of the Indiana Jones of the DC universe. So that's how I would say it.
That's great.